Coach Rice and the Badger. We are here. First episode of this show. I don't think we have an official name for it yet, Coach, but we're just going to, I guess, break that in and we'll figure it out when we get to it. See, Coach Rice already has his first prop. So, I'll leave it to you. What do you got there?
We're going to start off with our seniors and super seniors. And we look at that December calendar, because we did make it through, the November calendar. We made it through that part okay, Badge. We made it through that part okay.
5-1 more than okay.
But the thing I'm looking at is somehow the cameraman made these guys look really good. They look like a good-looking group of guys. Wow. Hopefully everybody can see that, because in person, they don't quite look like that.
You know they all got ready. They had haircuts.
Oh,
they were all ready to
man.
roll for pictures.
I'm wondering who those guys are. I'm wondering who those
Well,
guys
come get your
are.
posters. We have posters all around town, on campus, at games. Come get your posters, hang them on your walls. We need everybody to have one. Everybody likes to see their own face in the windows of all the local pizzerias and the barbershops and everything else. So.
Please get the posters so it reminds you when we have home games, because it's a fun time of year, and our team is looking like we're going to be pretty good. So we need all the fans to come out and support, and just come and be as loud as you want to be. We need young fans. We need older fans. We need longtime fans, and we need new fans. Just come and check us out right here at the Dr. McNeil Arena. That sounds nice. Feels good saying that, man.
I know you like that.
The Dr. McNeil Arena. How lucky am I that I get to call this home?
It's awesome. How awesome was the ceremony we did for Dr. McNeil?
That
It was one
was
of the coolest things.
that was just, I almost got emotional. Everybody knows how I feel about Dr. McNeil, and I'm standing there watching her with her family and her grandkids, and I know how happy she was just standing up there. But very deserving that
Absolutely.
they put her name on this building, and like I said, I get to call it home every single day. So that was big time.
That was a heck of a night. We backed it up with a win. So.
Well, anytime you can do that, that makes it extra special.
That's all Dr. McNeil would want us to do anyway. So.
And I didn't want to, on the first night that they named it, we didn't want to come back with an L, because then it would have been Dr. McNeil Court Arena with an L.
Oh, it won.
Yeah, we don't want that. We didn't want that.
We took care of business.
All right.
But Coach was talking about home games. We got a couple weeks off before we have another home game. We're going to hit the road this weekend to a fun trip up in Buffalo. Nice and cool. We actually get it, I think, a little earlier this year than when we're going to hit the real cold weather. I don't know, you're in upstate New York, maybe you know the forecast better than me. But.
See, I was going to say, Badge, be careful talking bad about upstate.
I love upstate New York. It's one of my
All right,
favorite trips of the year.
Just be careful
I love
about that. But
I love it.
I get to stop at Binghamton, and we're going more upstate.
Okay.
We're going more upstate, and I told the kids this year, we had a tradition of we'd play the first game, and on our day off, in between, we always go to Niagara Falls. I think that's a cool trip for our guys, but we haven't gone the last couple of years because it's been so cold, and the guys voted not to go. But I told them this year, no matter what happens in that first game, the day off in between, we are definitely going to Niagara Falls. I think it's good for our kids to see it. Some of them have already seen it before, but I like doing team outings and going places and seeing things that you wouldn't see in your normal everyday life. So Niagara Falls is one of those things, and it's a cool trip for our team.
No, it's good for everybody to see that. You got probably, I would imagine, most of the guys on the team right now haven't been to the Falls.
George let me know that it's gotten canceled the last couple of years, and he was happy about that. So I think George is hoping that there's a snowstorm or an ice blizzard or something like that happens, so he won't have to go. But I told him dress warm because we're going no matter what this year.
It's been a couple years since we've gone, so it'll be good. Something everybody should see, in my opinion.
For sure, Hawks fans, and we'll take a bunch of pictures, and we'll bring you on that trip with us.
We try to do that on every trip.
There you go.
Usually. That's where I come. But we got a lot of things going on, Coach, around Monmouth Athletics right now. It's a fun time, I think, to be around this place. We talked about Dr. McNeil Arena. We have the Broadcasting Center, the Parton Broadcasting Center tomorrow night that will dedicated before the women's game. I wanted to talk about that a little bit just because from our end of things, it's so awesome from the ESPN Productions end and the generosity of Charlie and Trudy Parton to get that done for us is so big time. It's going to change the way that our students are learning how to do broadcasting and how we can put on our games on ESPN for our fans to watch. I just think it's an awesome thing, and it just adds on to the cool stuff we got going on here right now.
Well, let's definitely slow down for a second and talk about Trudy and Charlie. I'm going to look straight at the camera because when I came here 11 years ago, Charlie was so good to me and so friendly, and Trudy the same way. And you watch, and they go to all the soccer games, they go to all the football games, they go to field hockey games, they go to softball, baseball, and they truly support Monmouth University. They support it with their time, they support it with their finances, and they support it with their love, and they're always around. And Trudy's still running marathons, you know what I mean? And Charlie is just one of the nicest, most humble men that I've met since I've been here, and they're always so giving to this university. So Badge, you know I do things a little bit differently, and I'm not going to be here tomorrow because we're heading up to Niagara. So let's give Charlie and Trudy a standing ovation right now.
Do it right now.
All right, we just and we're going to say thank you so much from men's basketball, but from all athletics, and definitely from the men's basketball team. And we're just thankful that you love Monmouth so much, and we're going to work hard for you and try to have the best season that we've had over these last 11 years. But thank you to both of you for your generosity. Thank you for being who you are, and you give us something, you give everybody something to strive to be, because you two are incredible. You're incredible as individuals, and you're incredible as a couple. So thank you to both of you for everything that you do for Monmouth University.
I just have to echo everything you said. You hit it perfectly, but it's big time, and that room is going to be just incredible for all of our athletes, for all of athletics, for our department, for the communications school. Big time stuff in there, big time equipment, high level stuff. So it's awesome, and I'm really looking forward to getting to work in there and kind of exploring a little bit myself. But just wanted to touch on that because we've talked about all the good things going on here at Monmouth, and I think that's one of the bigger ones right now, for sure. Buffalo trip this weekend. We come back from Cincinnati. So yesterday we had practice, and to let everybody else, fill everybody in, I'm sure you saw an article that Steve Edelson wrote today. But after practice, we talked to Steve, and he was kind of reflecting back on some of the older days. And I ended up talking to Josh James, and I was thinking about it last night. Those games, when we played Cincinnati, we played those high major arenas, are you have so much energy running through you. I'm sure you do too. For me and for Jig was talking about it, and our players, like, the atmosphere when we play at those places is so cool, and I think it's just so much fun when I see the schedule come out every year to say these are the dates to look forward to, the games that we're going to be able to play at these places, regardless of the final score. But to go out there and get a win is just cherry on top.
Well, the Cincinnati game meant a lot to us for all the reasons that everybody heard. Wes Miller is truly one of my best friends in this business. When I moved back to Chapel Hill, I worked out with him every day and just watched him grow as a player. And then after, when I got the job here, I tried to hire him. And at that time, he had just moved down to North Carolina, and he accepted the assistant's job at UNC Greensboro. And then about a month later, the head coach got let go, so Wes became the head coach. He did a great job in those last 10 or 11 games and was awarded with being the head coach. And we probably talked every day for a while, and he's just such a good coach and such a good friend that when he got the Cincinnati job, he knew we were looking for games. He knew our team was going to be good, and he still agreed for the game. And that says who he is. That says how our relationship is. And I'm just thankful that we got to have that game. It's always hard when you play a friend, especially someone like that. We are truly brothers. He got mad at me because he said I wasn't enjoying it enough. And I truly enjoyed that win for our fans and our kids. But he's my best friend in the business. So us going in, I know what people are going to say after that game. And I'm the older brother in that relationship, so I felt badly a little bit. Um, but he and I have talked, and he told me some things that will help us in the future. And I'm constantly trying to help him. And he's a lot younger than me, so someday I might be working for old West Miller. Someday.
You never know.
You never know.
It's all cyclical.
There you go.
It was cool, I thought, when Wes, I'm sure everybody saw the pictures on our social media, but Wes came by practice the night before we played the game, and just the things he had to say about you and also about our team. It's obvious that he watches our guys. He obviously watches this year because of Walker, but he kind of he knew our guys, he knew how we played, and he was so complimentary of the job that you've done, that our staff has done. Just a cool experience overall for when we have those interactions with other coaches and other guys from other programs. It's cool to see that they're not just full of it. They really mean what they're talking about with our guys and our players. I just thought that was really cool for him to come by, and he was probably there for an hour, just rapping with our guys and kind of talking them up. I don't know if he felt that way Saturday night, but it was cool on Friday.
No, and he wanted to do that. He wanted to come and see Julian. He wanted to talk to our guys, and I'm sure people say, "Oh, I don't know if you should do that." Well, he is a college basketball coach, and there's another team in his town. He can help our guys too. Okay,
Absolutely.
I would help his guys, and that's what this is all about. I think I'm supposed to help young guys that are in this field, and I will help anybody's team. After we compete against them, if the coach wanted me to talk, I would do that. I would do it before, and especially after guys graduate, I will be someone that wants to help other guys get to what they want to get to. And it's all hands on deck. I think the basketball community is super small, and we should help each other. And Wes showed that it's a small community and showed how caring he is as a coach and as a friend. But then, his brother Walker, Wes played a major role in us getting Walker. A lot of people that were from my family and the Carolina family weren't sure if this was the best place for Walker. And Wes and his father and talking to his mother, they felt like it was the best place. And now we have Walker in our program. He's been unbelievable on the floor. He's had more of an impact off the floor. And who he is as a young man is incredible. But I did a lot of time staring at those pictures, Badge, and to see how Walker looks at his big brother was really cool for me. Just because I've known them for a long time, and he's the older brother, but to see Walker looking at him with those just being intent and listening to what his older brother was saying, knowing that we were going to try to beat him the next day, I thought that was what made Wes coming by super special.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. And you talked about Walker. He's just like, I've been around the program, I guess, 8 or 9 years now. The kind of kid that he is, the leadership he brings, he's just a different kind of kid that I think you've had before. He's fifth year senior, he's an older guy, but like, just the maturity he brings. I'll tell you, we've done a couple interviews with Wes, or with Walker, and some press conferences and stuff. Some of the most texts I get after games are not about the wins, or not about X, Y, Z, not about what play it was, wow, Walker, his interview was unbelievable. Wow, look what he said. What a team guy. Wow, I love this kid. Like, he says all the right things. It's crazy when I look at my phone. I'm like, half of these are about Walker. And it's just about his interview when he was just talking to Eddie. Like, he's so polished, and it's so impressive. I know he comes from Carolina and all that, but probably hasn't had a whole ton of exposure to that type of, being the guy to have to go do media after games and stuff, and he hasn't hesitated and hasn't taken it all in stride. And it's just crazy to watch. He's been so awesome to be around just as a kid.
And everything you're saying, Badge, is spot on, and that's a credit to his parents. That's a credit to his parents, who they raised as a young man. That's a credit to his older brothers, to his sister. They are a sharp family. The whole group of Millers are a sharp family, and Walker's the youngest one, and now he gets to watch the other guys do their thing, and what people don't know is Walker's brother Bo went to high school with Austin Tillman. Okay, so they've known about Austin and Monmouth for a long time, and they're just a super close family, just really good people. And then you do have to give North Carolina some credit too. Even though he wasn't the guy getting on TV, they do train you in interviews. They bring people in to talk to you. You have to interview in front of your teammates, which was always the hardest one for me, because JR was in the room.
I was just gonna
And
ask
he
you.
would pick on me because I might stumble on a word or something, so Jay would get on me. But that's a credit to the people at Carolina and how they do things, that he didn't get the microphone a lot, but he was still trained and listened and learned. And now he has his opportunity, and it's really cool because I felt the same way listening to him. It's like, man, this guy needs to be on TV. Or he needs to score a whole bunch of points so we can talk to him more.
Exactly. I'm going to backtrack now because you said something there that piqued my interest a little bit. Doing interview training at Carolina, but also doing it with JR. I'm sure that was interesting to say the least.
Well, every part of having JR lead as your teammate was interesting. Okay, you got to remember, JR was the top kid. He was the top kid. He was bigger than everybody. He was better than everybody. And the thing people don't know about JR is he's one of the funniest guys on the planet.
One of the funniest guys on the planet.
He'll talk about you and have you laughing at the stuff that he's saying about you. Okay, and that's usually someone makes a joke about you, you don't laugh at it. Well, JR makes a joke about you, you laugh. But at that time, it was just, he might just make a face. He might screech. He would do anything just to snap your train of thought. And then you'd get all messed up and be embarrassed, and then he'd be giggling, and you want to be like, JR, just stop. But you couldn't do that because we were practicing real interviews. But the hardest part of that was doing it in front of your teammates. And
Sure.
I always felt if I could do it in front of my teammates, I can talk in front of anyone. And that's a credit to North Carolina and the things that they did to help improve us on a daily basis.
Did you give it back to Jay when he was up on his part?
Well, we had some classes together in communications, and there was times when I got to be behind the camera when he was the one in front of it, and I would never pick back on him. I would never pick on him, ever, Badge.
No,
I would not do that.
Not one time.
Especially when I was 19 and 20 years old. I probably just left JR alone and let him get his A instead of making him mess up like he used to do to me.
No, I'm sure there was no retaliation there at all.
Now, Badge, let's explain to people what we're doing here, how this came about, what we think this can become,
Absolutely.
and how we got to it. And you can start it, and I'll jump in. And
Well, I think we pride ourselves, I think, at Monmouth of trying to be ahead of the curve. We try to be innovative. We try to get stuff out in front. And I think this is just a good opportunity for us instead of the same old, let's ask Coach a couple questions about basketball and have him answer them, and then we move on. Just to have a little bit more of a lighthearted conversation and kind of, I have to say it was your idea. So it was mostly your idea. So I could kind of leave it off to you with that, but just the opportunity to showcase some other stuff about our program and really get some more positive stuff out there that you might not hear from the other ways we do our media.
And everyone, that's really what it was. I went to Badge and I said, hey, I want to get more stuff out to our fans. We're coming off of COVID. There's been all kinds of things during the election, COVID, the Black Lives Matter, and everybody was shut down in their homes, and we weren't able to come out and see each other and have the blue-white stuff and get everything out to you like we normally do. And I thought, what better way than Badge and I sitting down. We're going to do this and bring kids in, bring guests in. I'm going to invite our president in. We want more people to hear about our great university. We're going to bring professors in and talk to them about their daily and how they've been dealing with the pandemic teaching class on Zoom and now having the students back in front of you. So this is just an open forum where the fans have access to me. I think Badger has needed to get in front of the camera instead of being behind it. Look at Badge, I'm gonna make him blush. Look at him.
I'm all good. I'm not blushing.
He knows more sports than anybody. He watches everything on Monmouth's campus. I know he likes the Giants. He likes the Islanders. He'll talk about it to you. He's just a sports guy. And I'm like, Badge, maybe me and you should just get on camera and talk about Monmouth basketball, and we'll bring other coaches from Monmouth on to let them share what they got going on. But we just want to get things to our fans about our wonderful university. There's so many great things going on in athletics, but there's also great things going on this campus. We have great students on this campus. Badge, have you seen the women's basketball team this year?
Awesome.
What Coach Jenny has been doing already. I see these ladies in the gym all the time working on their games. The smiles on their faces make me excited every day. And then the product on the court. Those girls are playing so hard and playing with the energy that you love to see. And now we got some local girls came back home, and Stella is balling out there, and it's so cool to watch these young ladies just attack this game again with smiles on their faces, smiles on campus, and it's very uplifting, and that's a credit to Coach Jenny and her staff, because they came with the energy, and just watching them work on a daily basis is incredible. And that's something that I want to get the word out. Local fans, get out here and watch this girls team, because their coach is incredible, their whole staff is incredible, and they're doing big time things already. So please, come on and watch our girls team, come out and watch us, and just support Monmouth athletics, but also Monmouth University, because there's some great kids on this campus.
So that's what we're going to do, basically. I kind of see this as more of a, not a talk show, but having a conversation and getting some things out there, like you just said, get some professors, get the president, get some other coaches on, and just kind of talk with them in a non-formal, non-interview, there's no mic in your face kind of deal of let's just chat and see what comes out. I think another part of it is, and we've gotten into it a little bit today, is the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, in my opinion, is so cool, especially with your program as the one I'm around the most. Some of the stuff that goes on, just when it comes to practice, or Coach Sanchez at Charlotte comes by and talks to our guys, like those stories are a lot harder to get out there. I think this is a good forum for, hey, this happened at practice. Hey, Miles Roos said this, and just to get these kids and our program story out there, but some of the cooler stuff that goes on, I think behind the scenes that people would like to know about, without me just beating you over the head with it on our Twitter and our Instagram. This is a good forum to get our kids on and tell their stories, and I know that's so important to you for our guys to be promoted, and we have so many just different personalities. We have 17 guys, which is the most we've ever had, I think, and just loads of different personalities, different kids, different backgrounds, freshmen to seniors. I mean, I don't know what the age gap is, but it's got to be somewhere between 18 and 24 right now, right? Maybe older. I don't know how old Jarvis is right now. But.
Jarvis is up there. Jarvis is up there.
So, personally, I'm really looking forward to doing this. I don't know that we're going to have a set night just because our schedule is obviously all over the place. We're doing Wednesday this week, and we'll pick a day next week, and we'll definitely let everybody know via our social media platforms, Monmouth Basketball on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, where we're going to be, when we're going to be doing it, who the guest is going to be, and we'll just have fun. We'll tell some stories, hopefully get some interaction from our fan base and from our alums and the campus community, and take some questions. I know a lot of people are going to want to ask about basketball, but hopefully there's other stuff that people want to get into as well. That's kind of what we're here for.
Right. And I wanted to open up to our fans. You guys always support us. You're out here, you scream for us, you cheer for us, you donate for us, you do so much for us. So I want to give back to you, and I want you to text in, call in, send any question that you've been wondering about with Monmouth basketball. You know, I know Jaden Daly came to our game the other day, and I always hear, you know, he's like, well, I'll get a question in the King. Okay, well, I'm probably the most accessible coach that I mean, anybody can get to me, and I like interaction with fans and especially with Monmouth fans. And if I made a wrong decision, call and ask about that. If I made one that you like, that's cool. We can talk about that. Um, I just want to be open to our fans. I want you to have an inside look at our program, at me, at Badge, and really get behind us, because we can do a lot of good things, but we need our fans to be with us. And I want you to know what's going on in the program, and that's the world we live in now. I think you open things up, you show people who you are, and we have a great story to tell here at Monmouth basketball, and I want to get out and publicize everything that's happening on this campus. I probably don't get out enough. I didn't get to talk about the football season this year, and what Coach Callahan has done, and all of those guys, you know, what Lonnie Moore was doing all during the year, and the quarterback Tony having another great season. You know, Juwan was preseason All-American, had some injuries, but then the other running backs stepped up, and, you know, Monmouth was right there again, ready for a championship. What Carly has done, you know, in field hockey. What Chrissy's done with women's soccer. It's just, we have so many great things going on this campus. And before I go too far, we have a new AD. Okay? And how cool is that? After, as long as, and I'm not even sure the amount of years with Dr. McNeil, you know, but that's 27, 28, 29 years. And Jeff was here as her right hand for all of those years. And now Jeff Stapleton, local man, who's been, everybody loves Jeff, is the AD now. So we got to support him. We got to get him sitting right here on this table. We're going to get him right in the middle. We're going to hit him with a whole bunch of questions. And everybody who knows Jeff knows his lovely wife, Trish, and he has his 4 daughters, and, you know, now he's the AD. And it's cool just to see his family around. His daughters are ballers. And you know, Jeff deserved to be the AD here, and we want to get him out here with us and let him tell his story a little bit. And, you know, everybody knows how I love Dr. McNeil, but I am super excited for Jeff. We've always worked well together. Jeff has always been able to calm me down when I was in the red pretty quickly, you know, in a great way. So I'm excited to work under his leadership and to see where he's going to take Monmouth athletics. Dr. McNeil lifted it up a whole bunch, so it's a tough act to follow. But Jeff is the right man at the right time to lead this athletic department, along with our president, President Leahy, and I think sky is the limit for Monmouth University and Monmouth athletics.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm looking forward to doing this with you every week, as, you know, into the season, after the season, whatever we decide to do with it. I'm excited, but crazy how half hour can go by so fast. I know it's 6:59. I know Xander plays in a couple minutes, so I know you got to go catch that. So we'll wrap up our first show here, and like I said, we'll keep everybody posted with where we're going next, when we're going to be on. But the next thing we got on the agenda tomorrow night, women's basketball, 7 o'clock, and then we're up in Buffalo Friday night for Niagara after we make the trip up there, and we'll check back in with you next week. So we appreciate everybody checking out the first episode. Coach, if you have anything else to add?
Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in. I'm sitting here in this chair, and, you know, I don't do it that way, so I might start dancing next week, whatever it is. I'll listen to some old Planet Rock earlier. I woke up this morning, and that was on my timeline, so I've been dancing and popping and locking and all kinds of stuff all day. We might let you in on that, but we want to thank you and give us ideas. If you have any questions, please send them in. We'll get to them next time. And as Badge said, we know my son Xander plays up at Bucknell. They had a big win over Siena last week, but a big one tonight, and I appreciate Badge letting me go watch my son play.
No, that's the important stuff, man.
Are we going to be able to get Viscomi on? That's the one. I want Viscomi on the show. Scomes, if you're at home watching, We're getting you on the show. We gotta get you in front of the camera too. That's right.
I don't know if anybody needs that. Well, we appreciate everybody, and we'll wrap up this first show, and we will talk to you next week.